Hey, Bruce, how's it going?
Uh, what is it this time, Go?
Well, it's time for another review. Thought you might join me this time.
Geez, Go. I'm busy. Can't you get Carl to do the review with you again?
Well, yeah, maybe I could, but I just thought you might be able to use a movie break right about now.
And watch what? Some sappy, sentimental Christmas story, something like the Polar Express or Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, something like that, right?
Well, no, I thought you'd like this one actually. We're gonna do The Grinch.
Oh. I do like the Grinch. I will tell you, I do like the Grinch, and I could use a break. Yeah, okay, I'll do the show with you this time.
Okay, great. Here, I'll just drop the title card and I'll get right back to you. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Commander Go Show. And please give a big Christmas season welcome to the jolliest. No, I can't say that with a straight face. I'm sorry. To the most belligerent dinosaur you're ever gonna meet, but in a nice, jolly way. Bruce, the belligerent Brontosaurus. Say hello, Bruce.
Yeah, hello, mammals. Okay, so I'm here to review the Grinch, right? Yeah, I like the Grinch. Wait, which one are we doing? Are we doing the one with Boris Karloff or the one with Jim Carrey?
No, it's the one with Benedict Cumberbatch.
Wait, what?
Yeah, it's the 2018 animated feature film version from Illumination.
Wait, where did this version come from?
That's a major release from Universal Pictures back in the Christmas season in 2018. It was released to theaters then.
So there's like 3 versions of the Grinch now?
Yep, 3 different versions.
This one has the Grinch played by Benedict Cumberbatch.
That's right.
That's the guy that was in Doctor Strange and Star Trek Into Darkness, that guy?
Yeah, that's him.
Alright, I can see that guy playing the Grinch. I guess I'll give it a shot. Okay, I'm gonna go watch the thing and you do the intro.
Will do. Ladies and gentlemen, and who's of all ages, please join us for our review of 2018's Dr. Seuss's The Grinch. By the way, if you would like to see more content about pop culture, movies, and TV, then click that subscribe button. And hey, it just might brighten your day too. And now, on with the show. The Grinch is the 2018 animated feature film adaptation of the classic children's book by Dr. Seuss. The movie follows 2 very popular previous adaptations of the same book. The animated TV special directed by Chuck Jones and starring Boris Karloff, and the live-action feature film directed by Ron Howard and starring Jim Carrey. As in the prior adaptations, this movie takes place in the town of Whoville, the home of a people known as the Whos. It is a few days before Christmas, and the joyful, Christmas-loving Whos are hanging decorations, singing carols, and spreading cheer, much to the annoyance of the Grinch, who lives in the mountains north of Whoville. The Grinch doesn't like Christmas, and would like nothing more than to hide out in his home with his dog Max and ignore Christmas until the season passes. But the Grinch has run out of food, and as much as he dreads going amongst the Whos at Christmas time, he finds he has no choice but to head into Whoville to go shopping. On the way, he is inundated with Whos spreading Christmas cheer, which irritates him to no end. Along the way, he lashes out at some of the Whos he encounters by pulling mean pranks on them. Once he has his groceries and heads back home, he encounters his neighbor, Bricklebaum, who is decorating his house. Bricklebaum is particularly irritating to the Grinch because he thinks they are friends and insists on talking to him.
Okay, what's the deal with this guy? This is our Grinch? The Grinch is supposed to be this big ball of Christmas hate, at least at the beginning of the story. He's supposed to be the embodiment of the opposite of Christmas spirit. But this guy is just more like an introvert with poor social skills that doesn't know how to deal with all the extroverts around him. That's not the Grinch. You know what? I'm not calling this guy the Grinch. Benny. I'm gonna call him Benny.
Well, the Grinch, learns from Bricklebaum that the mayor of Whoville has ordered that their Christmas celebration be at least 3 times bigger this year. The Grinch tries to hide from it in his home, but the sound of an enormous Christmas tree being airlifted into town proves impossible to ignore. It seems that Christmas is inescapable, so the Grinch resolves to steal it. Meanwhile, a little Who girl down in Whoville named Cindy Lou Who has something very important to ask Santa Claus for. So important that she must ask in person. So she and her friends begin working on a plan to trap Santa when he delivers presents to her home so that she can talk to him.
Yeah, a lot of the movie ended up being about Cindy Lou wanting to trap Santa. It seemed like a completely different movie when the focus was on her. Isn't this supposed to be Benny's movie? She hadn't even met Benny at this point, or even knew he existed.
Well, the Dr. Seuss book that this is based on is a very short children's book, so they have to add a lot of story to it to make it feature length.
Yeah, but the Ron Howard live-action movie at least padded out the runtime with stuff that was tied into the themes of the original story. In that version, Cindy Lou meets the Grinch early on in the story, at a time when she's searching for the true meaning of Christmas amidst the commercialism. She becomes curious about the Grinch and then starts investigating his backstory. Here, it's like Cindy Lou had her story, Benny had his story, and they're not thematically related. They just kind of intersect at the end. And don't get me started on Benny. This movie seems to go out of its way every 5 minutes to remind the audience that Benny isn't really a bad guy, and deep down he really does have a big heart. But he's supposed to be a bad guy, at least until the end of the story. He's supposed to have a heart that's 2 sizes too small. You can't have a redemption story that means anything if you don't start out as a bad guy. But in this movie, I just don't buy Benny would steal Christmas. I might buy that he might have the idea to steal Christmas. He might daydream about it, maybe even plan for it. But I don't buy that he would go through with it. His heart's already too big for that.
Okay, but be that as it may, the movie is quite pretty to look at. This was made by Illumination, and I have to say that Illumination always does a good job. They aren't known for breaking any new ground in the animation industry the way DreamWorks and Sony seem to be these days, and how Disney and Pixar used to be. But Illumination does always seem to put out some good, solid, quality work in their animation. So, well, I wouldn't recommend this as a good adaptation of the Dr. Seuss story, and would suggest the Chuck Jones TV special or the Ron Howard live-action movie instead. I will say that its colorful, Christmassy animation might make it appropriate to put on during a Christmas party or as part of a Christmas movie marathon.
Well, I don't recommend this one. I think my heart's down the size after having to watch this one.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that, but I think we can at least agree that we like Max. Max is a good pupper.
Oh, well, yeah, that goes without saying.
Well, so long, Bruce. And Merry Christmas everyone.